know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself, yeah.
I don't think you guys walk away from this.
You just make sure people know what happened.
Peace, peace, and blessings. Today we got a show for you all. So if you coming from Facebook, coming from YouTube, coming from Instagram, wherever you coming from, please make these live chat live tonight. So we got an exciting show with an exciting topic that's going to be very informative and very here. We already got people hitting the live chat. We got Latoya Johnson. Thank you for coming through. You is one of our number one. You are our number one supporter, and thank you for it. Much love and care. So, further ado, let me introduce y'all to my co-host. No other than Shin Akama.
Yo, what up? You know who it is. It's your boy Shin Akama, Jama L, back again on the scene. Let's go.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. We here, we out here, and we are doing it for you. We not doing it for the money, but sooner or later, bills will come. We will add more features, so we will be needing the people's support. But outside of the people's support, the knowledge is free. You feel the knowledge is free. Hey. So, as we know about marijuana, cannabis, weed, doja, indo, outro, whatever we call it. Here in America, we have some states that is legalized. We have some states where it's still illegal. We have a federal government that say, hey, it is illegal, but we will decriminalize it to a certain extent. And I wanted to bring this topic up because this is a topic that touch home to most people. And especially through this election, we have two candidates. We have one candidate that came out first and said, hey, I will legalize cannabis, but it should be restricted, then going to a bus stop and start blowing cannabis in front of everybody. It should have restriction, but it should be legal. And we have another candidate that came afterward that say, hey, we will look into it. It should be legal. Outside of America, we should remember Brittany Griner going into Russia with cartons of weed and what occurred with her. So we are not just talking about marijuana, cannabis in the United States. We're going to explore to find out how is it, what would happen in some other country like China. Because, hey, if you're a marijuana smoker, you might think it's okay to jump on a cruise ship with your smoke. But it's not okay to jump on a cruise ship with your smoke. You might go ahead when y'all touch land, might be able to get something. But outside of that, don't jump on a cruise ship with that. Some places you should know. You need to know. Because when you go face a judge for a certain offense, see, you can't take it on a cruise. If you go see a judge would tell you that it's inadmissible. You not knowing what's going on in the law by you being ignorant of the law, that is not an excuse to get away from that law. See what I'm saying, Shin?
Hey, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? I come from the state of Rhode Island in the Providence Plantation, and weed's legal out here, so niggas be blowing this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about no police. We be smoking in the front of the crib, and the police be driving by, can't say shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what we want. We you know what I mean? It's not like we out here smoking crack or, you know what I mean, doing cocaine or popping pills or none of that foolishness. Shit that could take your life, you know what I mean? Just look at people like Rich Homie Quan and various other celebrities who die off of this popping pills, but all these kids and even some of these grown-ass folks think that this shit is cool.
Yes. Like my day off, I run into children, teenagers, not even fully mature yet in the mind, 13, 14 years old, on a corner asking for money to buy other type of drugs that is destruction of that person's life. So when it comes down to marijuana, from my point of view, this is my opinion. If you is a parent and you okay with your children smoking marijuana, if you introduce your children to that, or they get introduced by a friend and they are teenagers and stuff like that, how you deal with your children, I can't say nothing about it. You punish them. Most likely, you cannot stop them from doing it. They will find a way to do it if they want it. But myself, am not someone to criticize a parent for not wanting their children to do it. But on the other hand, if a parent is okay with their children smoking marijuana, have that conversation with your child. Build that communication with your child. It is better you knowing that your child smoking cannabis than them running around the street not knowing the type of things that follow cannabis. Because sometimes in these streets, you gotta behave a certain way. You gotta deal with certain situations a certain way. And so, other than that, when it comes down to adults, I feel like marijuana, cannabis, I support it 100% for medical and recreational purpose. If I support, just like a gun owner who support bearing arms, you got to know the safety of it. You got to know it. You have to understand the gun, how to put it together, how to put safety, how to know when the safety is on. So that's the same way dealing with marijuana. We must know the pros and cons. So we have my children are grown. I know they smoke, but they are very respectful about it with me. Bingo, you feel a respect. Hey, you my children, I know, hey, you gotta respect certain boundaries, even if you adult. Hey, you might smoke marijuana, I'm okay with it, you feel? But you can't do it in my house. Do it on a porch. It's okay, I see you, you feel? As long as you not crossing boundaries. Everything have a boundary. So let me pop this information for everybody and let's get this started. Okay. Share screen. First, we're gonna go into the History Channel. How did cannabis become the most controversial plant? Let's go.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in. If you need to sell your house for...
The marijuana revolution could very easily change the country, but there's a lot standing in the way. To understand why the status of pot is so contested, we need to trace the long, strange trip showing how cannabis became America's most controversial and lucrative plant.
Marijuana in the United States go hand in hand. Our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, and a number of others, grew what was called Indian hemp.
George Washington had over 100 hemp plants at Mount Vernon.
The hemp grown by our first American presidents was an industrial cash crop, perfect for making strong fiber that could be used for rope, sails, clothing, even paper, but not for smoking.
The plants that you use to make the rope and the fiber have low THC levels and they don't get people high.
While some early Americans made a fortune cultivating cannabis for industrial use, others began making big profits selling it as medicine.
Cannabis was a major ingredient in medicines that were recommended for use in
So from the beginning, beneficial to this nation from United States and cannabis, not tobacco, cannabis. They don't tell you in the school books about that. Go hand in hand. They knew the medicine purposes of it, and they knew the material purpose of it. The way to make money off of it. Because we got to realize the names and everything. You have marijuana cannabis of India, but you have something that they didn't tell you. America hemp. That means people got to realize that marijuana was growing a few places around the world. Native Americans was using hemp, smoking for medicine purpose, grind it up and make tea, medicine purpose, clothing, rope.
So you know
Nobody
why they
just
illegal?
woke.
Right? Oh, hold on. Let me say something about that. You know, so do you know why they made it illegal then? If they was making so much profit?
Break it down.
It's one simple plant that was getting overshadowed that in the past was that same cash crop that hemp was replacing, and that was cotton, because it was a higher tensile fiber rate than cotton is, which means it's more durable, which means you can use it for more various things. Hell, you could even, I heard that they even be using it in bulletproof vests now.
Yeah.
They use hemp and Kevlar together to make the most strongest bulletproof vests with a titanium plate in there. So that just lets you know, if it has the ability to stop high capacity magazines, even armor piercing rounds, that lets you know why they don't want people to have that. Because imagine you had some Levi jeans made out of hemp. That means you could have them jeans for 50 years and they'll never run down. Whereas some Levi jeans, you got to replace them like 2 or 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pay attention to the socioeconomic impacts on the actuality of it. And they even were showing you in the video, a lot of those people that was cultivating the hemp was sharecropping. And since they were sharecropping, we know that the majority of them people, even that white man in the video, was probably slaves.
Yeah.
Even though people want to deny white people was also enslaved during the 1800s. And most likely they got put out of business because, they made the weed plants illegal. Anything that has a THC content automatically became illegal.
So it's kind of like the tobacco market. You feel certain people, you can't just find tobacco seeds and grow tobacco. You feel it's illegal. You got to have government regulations. The government have to have some part of it. So when it comes down to cannabis, it becomes supply and demand. If you regulate it and only a certain few could use it for military purpose or other purpose that in industrial that the people don't deal with, that's become a higher crop. Or monopolize, that means only a few people could deal with it. So
but you have to realize that's why they keep these things like marijuana and tobacco as controlled substance, because as long as it's a controlled substance, they can control who is able to profit off of it and by how much they're able to profit off of it. And that's the most important part, because people out here think that this fiat currency is really worth something, but really it's the resource. Why is the currency not limited, but the ability to produce the resources limited, even though it's a natural resource? You know what I mean? You could grow that in your backyard.
Yes. Yeah, I'm growing a plant myself. You feel it's legal to grow 2 in the state of Maryland, but this is my first year. I had to learn the process. You feel it's better to learn with your hand and seeing by experience than ask. It's one thing looking on YouTube and seeing other people doing it or friends do it, but it's another thing when you put your hands in it and learn for yourself. Because when you do it yourself, you could always remember the process without going and ask others and keep on researching. But when you do it with your hand, you remember the process.
Right. That's important, because remember, anything that you grow with your hands or anything that you manufacture with your hands or any type of production, you're going to have more value for that and for the resource and for the money it produces, because it's not easy to make that money, and it's not easy to produce those products or manufacture those products.
Yeah.
Distribution is easy.
Facts. So we gonna go. Yeah, let's knock Obama down from now. We don't want to see that. So
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulty.
yeah, sorry about
What,
that.
you having some technical difficulty now?
Yeah, you'll say that somebody calling my phone, and it's like I hung up one time, realized that I'm gotta be busy. But let me get through this before somebody call my phone again and mess me up. So China deported Volkswagen executive for allegedly having too much fun in Taiwan. This man right here, he worked for Volkswagen, and in Germany, marijuana is legal in Germany. But he lived in China as an executive of Volkswagen in China. He went and took a trip to Taiwan. He snorted some cocaine. He smoked some marijuana. He was not like Brittany Griner and brought capsules. He did not even bring a crumb. They did not find crumbs. They did not find no smell or anything. What occurred? Here, let's go into the story. Let's go. Let's go. See, here you go. Can you see it, Shin? I want everybody to see it.
Yeah, I can see this, bro.
Okay. Right here. It say, he did not try to bring any banned substance into China. He didn't accidentally leave a cartridge in his bag. Nor did drug dog find even a tiny crumb of flour in one of his pockets. He was simply drug test at customs upon returning from vacation from Thailand. In China, they know a list of countries that it is legal, where it is decriminalized. So while it being decriminalized, China, you take a trip out of China to a country that is against China principle. China will know. Like if you leave from China and you go into the Philippines and you go back into China, they will know when you left and when you coming back. In some cases, they found in America, in some Chinese community, they had overseas police monitoring citizens. So in this case, someone reported it on the other end in Thailand. They reported that, hey, this guy will be coming your way. You feel? This guy will be coming your way. Once he stepped foot out that plane,
they put the cuffs right up on him.
Yeah, they didn't bring no dog. They wasn't looking for no drug. They like, hey, you got to do a urine test.
And you know it ain't no cheating on the urine.
Yes. Right there. They caught him right there on the spot. Because in China, if you get caught with marijuana, cannabis, or any other drug, you will spend several years behind bars. We don't know in the article, when you read the article, they don't know if it was the Chinese president that let them go, if it was communication between Volkswagen and the government, or government to free this man. But he spent like 10 days in detention. And once he was out, they deported him. You have to go. It's better than what happened in Russia, where Brittany Griner, the WNBA player.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, she got hit with drug possession, though. There's come on, bro. We know we've been involved in the legal system. There's a difference between having marijuana in your system and getting caught with a possession. You can't go to jail in states where weed is illegal for having marijuana in your urine, but you can go to jail for having a roach on you. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Because when it was illegal in Rhode Island, I got jammed up a couple of times with the police over some BS.
Do the people who is in the audience, this is a question for you all. Do you believe if you take a trip, I'm gonna just make up a place, not make up a place, but just pick a location. I'm gonna say you take a trip to Mexico, where they know you might run into some cocaine or some cannabis or something illegal, going into Mexico and then coming back into America. Do you think it's okay for the United States government to run up on you at customs and say, hey, we don't want to check you, but they want to check your urine.
Yo, but you know what's funny about that? You know why they can do that in China, but they can't do that in the United States, though?
Break
You know
it
why
down.
they can't do that? Hold on. Do you know why they can't do that to you in the United States? It's part of our freedoms as an American. Do you know why they can't do that?
Why?
Because you got, like the Constitution said, the 3 P's of being an American: your property, your paperwork, and your person. And your urine is part of your person. That's just like you getting off the plane and them asking you for a blood test. They can't do that because the blood is part of your body, your person. So it's your possession. They can't take your possession without a warrant. Just even for them to get your blood, they got to have a warrant, just like they got to have a warrant to put you under arrest.
So let's break this down, you feel? If you want to travel outside of United States, even before United States, let's look a little closer. Let me zone into this a little bit more. Okay. In the United States itself, we look at this. Maine, it is legal in Maine. Vermont, I think this Vermont or New Hampshire. I say Vermont.
That's not new. That's New Hampshire if it's that one that's yellow.
Yes, okay. In New Hampshire, you said, right?
Yep, it's yellow.
In New Hampshire, it is illegal, but it's decriminalized. That means you smoking in your yard, they not about to harass you. But if you get put over with it, they might get you a ticket. We have, where I'm at, people in Maryland should be happy because in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, it is illegal. It is illegal. So when we let's zoom out a little bit. Everything in the blue is legal. Everything in the yellow is illegal but decriminalized. Everything pink is illegal but often unenforced. And you have straight red as illegal. Gray, it is legitimate. What that mean? No, the legality is unknown. Where you can find that, if you could bring some marijuana to Alaska, so be it, because they don't have no legal code. So going into it, if you go into Russia, China, majority of all Africa, for the people who want to move to Africa, I'm going straight after you. Oh, I don't like America. I want to move back to the motherland. If you is a weed,
it looks like weed is illegal all over the motherland, if you ask me, except for the only one that they would say is a white African country, and that's South Africa. Notice,
yes.
South Africa is straight legal over there.
Yeah.
And why is that? Is that because it's white folks? I think so. So that means that black people need to get up on the wave in the countries they run, because it don't make no damn sense that over here in America and over there, you know that Nigeria, after the United States, is the highest weed consuming country in the world. Did you know that?
Oh no, wow.
Yeah, they buy almost as much weed as the United States.
Is it smoking wise or industrial
It's
wise?
smoking wise. We talking
wow.
about criminal industry. We ain't talking about, remember, it's illegal over there. We talking about criminal industry, criminal enterprise.
Yes. So
you got to remember, Nigeria, they're trying to be like us over here in America. They see us smoking weed every day on the live videos. They see us on the TikTok with blunts. They see us on Instagram live with blunts. They see us rolling shit up. That they want to be like us, bro. That's what it is. You know how it goes.
Yeah, just like I was saying, like we look at Thailand on the map, it's blue, it's straight blue, it's straight legal. So for people who go on vacation, because a lot of time customs would ask you about your trip. Is it business or pleasure? So most likely if you say business, the government gonna be all in your business. When you say pleasure, they would know, hey, you going on vacation or something. But if you
Yep, they know
executive,
you're there at your leisure. If they know because see, that goes into the military capacity, the Universal Code of Conduct,
yeah,
where it says that if you're on your leisure, which you know about this, Henry, if you're on leave and you're on leisure, they don't give a damn about your business. But if you say you moving with business, then you know how that moves. Anywhere the money's moving, they're moving.
yes. So this is the legal status of cannabis. For the other one was for recreational use. This is the medical use. So when it comes down to medical use, we see blue as legal for any adult use, green legal for medical use, gray is illegal or unknown. So with the blue, it is telling you, hey, it is legal recreational. So when you go into Louisiana, where I'm from, Louisiana, they would tell you it is legal for medicine purpose. So, but I'm gonna let y'all know it is good to wait if you in a state like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Arkansas, Oklahoma, that is Kentucky, West Virginia, North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah. If you from them states and it is legal for medicine use, wait till it become legal. That's my opinion for you. Wait till it become legal or just keep on doing it illegal. I'm not trying to tell people to do illegal stuff, but this will help because in some states, when you become a legal medicine weed smoker, in a lot of states, they would take your rights to bear arms. To become part of the medical marijuana program, they'll take your arms. That's why a lot of people in Maryland was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited till it become legal because they had to forfeit their rights to bear arms. So a lot of the green countries, like we see in Germany, we see in Thailand, we see in Mexico, it is legal. Smoke it up. But in the green states, it's like, hey, this for medicine purpose only. If you don't have no medicine purpose, you shouldn't get caught with it. And we seen all the red states. You have some states in Africa that say, hey, medicine purpose. But a lot of states in Africa that say, no, 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 it's not possible. You should not mess with it. So let's go into the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah. So we're gonna go into John Hawkins. You feel John Hawkins up here where I'm at? No, Walter Reed. I went to John Hawkins and Walter Reed. It's up here by me. So this is the source of the information. We're not just making stuff up when it comes down to the evidence. We going into the evidence of marijuana with John Hawkins University and also the medical part. So the evidence and the lack thereof about cannabis medicine. Although, wait, let me zoom in because I want to make sure people also able to see what I'm reading. Is it good?
Yep, we can read it. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna read the first line and you hit the rest, Shin. Although the use of possession of cannabis is illegal under federal law, medical and recreational cannabis use have become increasingly widespread.
All right, 38 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized medical cannabis, while 23 states and D.C. have legalized recreational use. Cannabis legalization has benefits such as removing the product from illegal markets so it can be taxed and regulated, but science is still trying to catch up as social norms evolve and different products become available. In the United States, adapted. Oh, in this Q&A, adapted from
No,
August
let's stop there. Let's sum this up for some people. The main key that they telling us is one of the main reasons why it was illegal. Taxes and regulations. Because if they would have outright made cannabis legal, just out legal, you can smoke it, you will have possession, we don't care about it. It's just like grass in your yard. Yeah, it'll be grown like grass in the yard. Everybody and their mother would have a marijuana cannabis plant. You agree with me? Agree with me or not? But I believe so.
I believe it should be legalized regardless, because if cigarettes is legal, then weed should be legal. And I don't know nobody who ever died or overdosed off weed. And I don't know nobody that got into no car accident off weed.
The only thing I know is the person on the couch is not dead. He sleep. He gonna be getting up and he gonna eat everything out the refrigerator.
Exactly. That's the best part about it. When you in them medical conditions, when you be feeling like you ain't hungry, all you gotta do is hit some weed up. You be ready to go in.
Oh yeah. So we gonna skip the Q&A opening. If you want to read it, you'll read it. We gonna just go straight to the questions and answer. Here you go.
Do you think medical cannabis paved the way for legalization for recreational use? The momentum has been clear for a few years now. California was the first to legalize it for medical reasons in 1996. Washington and Colorado were the first states to legalize recreational use back in 2012. You see one state after another challenging their laws, and over time see a challenge in social norms. It's clear from the national surveys that people becoming more and more favor of cannabis legalization that started with medical use and now has come and continued into recreational use. But there is a murky differentiation between medical and recreational cannabis. I think a lot of people are using cannabis to self-medicate. It's not like a medication that you get prescribed for a very narrow symptom or specific disease. Anyone with a medical cannabis prescription who meets the age limit for recreational cannabis can purchase it. Then they can use it really for all over the place. Maybe because it makes them feel good or because it helps them deal with certain symptoms, diseases, and disorders.
So, very interesting. Very.
So they're saying that what they're saying is not wrong. I can say that's a 100% accurate observation, because a lot of people who I know that smoke weed, they have no real physical ailments. That a lot of people I know just be smoking weed so they don't be crashing out on folks.
Yes.
A lot of people with ADD, a lot of people with bipolar disorder, a lot of people with schizophrenia, multi-personality disorder, narcissistic disorder. You know what I mean? A lot of these people got to smoke, because if they don't, because they can't handle what the real reality of life really it entails, especially in a lot of their situations that are, I would say, self-inflicted consequences based off of their own individual actions and choices in their lifetimes. And it's kind of hard to be mad at them for that because, you know, I got my own physical problems that I got.
Yeah.
But I've been more recently, I've been cutting back more. You know what I mean? I've probably been smoking blunts like once every couple of days now, or maybe even once a week, from where I used to be smoking 4, 5, 6 blunts a day, and trying to, because, you know, I was going through some shit. You know what I mean? I had to, you know what I mean? I had to get some surgeries. I had some major blockages in my arteries in my body. I couldn't move right. I wasn't feeling right. I had pain all the time. And that was one of the only things that I was able to use that would alleviate the symptoms temporarily, because even the medication the doctors was prescribing me wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah.
And that's just a personal witness to what they're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I remember, I don't remember when California became medical, but I do remember when Colorado became a recreational weed state, because almost everybody wanted to go to Colorado to try their marijuana. And also that's when 420 came about. National Weed Smoking Day. When it became recreational legal in Colorado, part of history lesson, that's when we got 420.
I had teachers in high school. In the early 2000s who was telling me that by 2020 weed was going to be legal. And it's funny because a lot of the other kids who I was in class with, they didn't really believe them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But look at where we at right now. You know what I mean? In the state of Rhode Island, it's been legal out here already since before the COVID-19.
Okay. Yeah, in Maryland after COVID, it wound up became legal after COVID. At first it was medical. It was legal medical wise. And then from there they voted and it became legal after
a 3-year decriminalization period.
Yeah, after the state of Virginia, Maryland did, because it was like Maryland was like, hey, Virginia making money, DC making money. Our residents is going to these states and buy these things, the state and the city of Washington, D.C. So they like, we need to keep the money here. Just like casinos, we need to have casinos here. We need to sell alcohol here. We need to have everything here so people won't leave out of here and bring the money to other states. Oh, we got a comment. My mother and father smoked weed when I was young. It been around for years, just making it legal now. Years. So many years, so many decades, so many generations that African American, Hispanic, and low income people was criminalized for marijuana. So understand, in America, the system is opening up for the legalization for recreational use, but for the people who smoking and feel comfortable in America, understand your right before going into another country. Understand their culture and understand their rule of law, that certain things you do here in America, you cannot do in other countries. So, does cannabis have medical usage? That's the question right now. So, Shin, tell us what's the deal.
Well, all I know is out here in the state of Rhode Island, it was similar to like you described in Maryland, but in Rhode Island, the reasoning behind it is because the tax money. They didn't care. They don't care about it being legal. What they care about is making that tax money. Once people in positions of power in other states saw Colorado was pulling in over $1 billion in pure profit revenue based off of legalized recreational use cannabis, other states jump right on. Rhode Island being one of them. Out here, they already put out the report that says by 2030, Rhode Island's going to be making around 25 to 30 billion dollars off of that.
So
off the tax
I want to say
revenue.
this. So, Shin, we understand what brain dead is. That your heart is still bumping, but your brain is not controlling the functions of your body.
Yeah, you know what we call that. That's stuck on stupid.
So now, as we read this, it say like CBD is used for seizures. Seizures is caused when the brain is sending like a computer on off signals. When the brain is sending mixed signals, like then saying 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, it'll go one skip, and that function in your body, it might be your left side, your right side just give out, and then you fall, and then every part of your body is reacting different ways because it's off track. So they said CBD, which also on the side of THC, but the CBD itself help with seizures.
Yeah, but see, you got to realize it's like they said on that show, on the History Channel show. CBD has no ability to get you high. Therefore, it has no recreational value because it's not really doing nothing to you in the effect of making you inebriated. And so it doesn't, and not only that, you have to think about it because it's also it's a neurotransmitter, CBD. So that means that it helps your brain effectively, like you said, send signals across. But also, what it does, the CBD, is it also can prevent you from having serotonin boosts. You know what I'm talking about? Now, when you smoke weed, you can that's why when a lot of people smoke weed, they like to play the video games.
Yeah.
Because what weed does that CBD don't do is it gives you this extra serotonin boost.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, see, weed doesn't boost your serotonin. What it does is it enhances your body's ability to produce the serotonin, so that way you can feel good about whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people like to smoke weed before they go to work. That's why a lot of people and it's funny because if you go to work with people who smoke weed and then one day they don't smoke, you can tell there's a hell of a difference in their production. There's a difference in their personality, and there's a severe difference in the way that they are expressing themselves.
Yeah.
Which weed does affect these personality traits.
So for that question, does we have visible medical uses? Yes, as we spoke right there, and also, and it say, as I like this up right here, it say, and THC have been used effectively for things like nausea and for an appetite for people with cancer. It helped me with appetite indeed. Indeed. Sometimes I don't be want to eat, but once
Yeah, but
I
they also don't tell you that it helps people like myself in a way where if you have nerve damage, that's another way that it helps you if you have nerve damage. Because like from when I suffered the stroke, I had nerve damage for a long time. And when I was smoking, it would help me to alleviate the symptoms of the nerve damage, which it's like you were saying, like I'll have pain in my hand for no reason, and then the pain will go from being in my hand to instantly being in my leg or being in my back, or you know what I'm saying? And it randomly affects you at random times because you can never predict. It's not like other ailments where you can predict, oh, if I move the wrong way, it's gonna happen, or if I do this, or if I exert myself like that, I'm gonna have a problem. Non-nerve damage, it can hit you at any time, and it's like turning on the light switch.
So it's right here. It's what do we know about the risks of marijuana? Before we get into that, I just want one question. Do you know anybody who deceased because of marijuana? I'm not talking about a car wreck or got so messed up they messed with the wrong person and something happened. I'm talking
Nah, I
about
never heard of nobody ODing on no weed.
yeah.
And
Okay.
I can account. I've had times when I was in my youth and I've smoked whole ounces in the same day, smoked a whole ounce up. So, and I've seen people smoking all type of weed too. So it ain't no way you're gonna die from overdosing.
For the people who coming from YouTube, thank y'all for coming again. Appreciate it. Let's keep them chats going. We see other people in here. Keep these chats going so we can hear. Dang, this person jumped out when I said it. Funny, but thank y'all for coming through. If you're coming from Facebook, please don't leave no comment in the comment section. Please come to the video and leave your comment so we can know that you actually looking at it and you dealing. But outside of that, there's no death with weed. You feel? I never might have smoked a little bit too much and I didn't eat or drank no water walking in that hot sun. It was gonna be that sun that got me. You feel? That sun would have hit me. But just smoking and I'm about to die or something. No.
I know. Look, hey, I know people who used to smoke blunts and then immediately after be playing on full court basketball games.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that about people. Oh, and I don't want to hear nothing about side effects. Talking about, oh, it makes people lazy and this and that, bro. I like when I was in my youth in a different era of my life. I used to be smoking at work, after work, during work, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it never prevented me from doing my job to the best of my ability. It never prevented me from getting up and doing what I got to do to get my day started, or you know what I mean? My disease was more debilitating to me than smoking weed was. Smoking weed was like, it made life more vibrant when you got to do stuff, especially if you had the right strains. And that's another thing that I feel like this article is not touching base on, is how the different strains of cannabis can affect you physically, mentally, emotionally, and the positive and the negative impacts of each one. You know, the three types being indica, sativa, hybrids.
Yeah,
And
I feel like we could do a show going into that, but right now it's kind of like for when people walk into the door, like, hey, you know, when you walk into a smoke shop, they got the warning sign, you got to be 18 plus and all that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We the doorman. We got to tell them the legal ratification of walking in here.
Hey, I wasn't even trying to really get too in depth in that. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
I find it very peculiar that they're trying to like make a generalized assumption. I'm not even going to say it's facts or any type of truth. Generalized assumptions based on what they believe to be actual statistical data, when the data is got to be skewed, because we know as consumers, especially people who are avid consumers, we know that there's different levels to this.
As I got a question for you. As a consumer, let's look at the neighborhood weed man. The seller, the storefront. Okay. No, not the storefront, the neighborhood cannabis seller. What is the benefit of the legalization and what is the downfall of the legalization for the dealers? I see the benefit for a dealer who sell marijuana is that they can walk around with it without getting harassed by the police or going to jail for having it on them. The bad part about it for the dealer is everybody got a storefront to go to. They'll go to the storefront. They don't have to get it on the corner. They'll go to the storefront, so the person on the corner who's trying to pay their bill with the good stuff, they're gonna have less customers. Some customers don't like to go to the dispensary because they feel like the stuff tastes like it's medicine, like it's sprayed on or something. So they still like going on the street. So there's benefit.
Personally, I gotta say, because I smoked both, and I gotta say that the weed from the dispensary is definitely more light work. That's how I can describe it from a street perspective.
Yeah.
It's light work. Yeah, I mean, they say that it's some real high grade weed, but when I smoke it, it be feeling like I'm smoking mid grade weed in the streets.
Yeah, it's
And it
like,
feels like, and it's funny because you feel like they got over on you,
yeah, you only have
because
for a few
they're
seconds.
selling you some kush, and it looked like some kush. You know what I'm talking about, Henry? Yeah, I mean, it looked like some fire in the streets. You get that bag, it looks like some fire. It smells like some fire. You light that bitch up, it's like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
That's how the dispensary weed be. And they be charging you outrageous prices. Bro, out here, I don't know how it is out in Maryland, but I know out here, they charge you a $7 surcharge if you got to use your debit card, plus the debit card fee, plus your institution is going to charge you another $3 because you're buying controlled substance like for recreational use. And then on top of that, they hitting you off. But if you come with straight cash, it's the regular price. But the tax, even like, say you buy an eighth, right?
Yeah.
They'll be like, all right, we're going to charge you $35. The same price in the streets, 35 for an eighth, 30 for an eighth. But after taxes, that shit's $45, bro. Maybe
Yeah.
even 50 in some circumstance. You know what
So
I'm saying?
that's why I know this guy. I know this guy very well. He more close to me than my jugular vein. He be dealing very decent with people, like $20 a. I love that guy. The only guy be on loud and say I love and closer to me than my jugular vein. But yeah, man, it's like it's a good thing. You feel? I would like on Facebook and every other place where I call people. I like come on in the live chat. You feel? But if I go to Facebook, you're gonna have a lot of people in the comments talking about this, talking about that. They ain't about what they talking about. You feel you will type it there, but then coming here where you live, you get put on front blast and speak your mind. Feel free to speak your mind because this is something that is still ongoing. The debate of cannabis is still going on. Is yes, in some places it's legal, but it's still illegal in other places. In some places, the schedule, you feel you got to pay attention to words of politics. When somebody like, hey, we gonna just decriminalize it out top, and then somebody else like, hey, we gonna study it. We gonna study it. Gotta watch
And the
some.
state of Rhode Island is still in the state of Rhode Island, even though it's legal, it's still a Schedule 1 controlled substance.
Yeah.
Meaning that if they catch you with that shit in an illegal capacity, it's game over for you.
Yeah.
Because they still gonna charge you with felony charges. Like, for example, if you're smoking weed in a house with children and CPS run up in there, any weed in your possession, you're automatically going down. That's felony charges. And you're going down like if they raided your crib and they found bricks of cocaine in there.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said earlier in the show, that even though it's legal, there's strict regulations. You know what I'm saying? You're not, and when you go into the dispensary, that's why they scan your ID. Because say they come in your house, right? Say if they come up in your house, CPS, they find the bag, right?
Yeah.
They don't find no weed in the bag, but the bag got a barcode on it now. Yeah. All they got to do is go to their computer, scan that shit up, and it's going to show the ID of the exact person who bought that bag.
Yeah.
So you can't even try to move the work to kids without understanding that you're going to get hit for felony charges, distribution, because that's contributing to the delinquency of minors, just like if you bought them alcohol or a cigarette.
Yeah.
So we got to have an understanding that even though we're all talking about legalizing and making this more easier to access, it also makes it so it's going to have its own new set of regulations and different ways that they're going to be able to make money off us or still incarcerate people, because there's no way that they're going to let all those people who they were incarcerating quite frequently off of weed. I know a lot of people who in 2000, I'll say like 2006 to like 2015, 16 area was getting knocked off. They was getting knocked off for weed, doing time, getting out and getting re-knocked right back off, back in the joint, because they was out here moving weed on felony and with felony indictments.
Yeah. So like it's deep. It's deep. So it's about that time to shut it down. Shut it down. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Appreciate it. This another newsroom special. For the people who don't know, news mean never end the working service. I'm your host, Henry William. Here your co-host, Shin Akma, JML. We appreciate y'all for coming through, and we hope y'all come. Make sure y'all share the video. When you share it, tell your friend and family, leave at least one comment. You feel? Tell us, do you agree that we should be legal everywhere? Or how do they feel about smoking cannabis? Any question, any comment, drop it in the comment section. We here for it.
All I got to say is to my people out here on the cash out, keep moving that work, keep getting that money.
Yes. So we going to go ahead and let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night as I salute y'all and I hope the best.